Jeffrey Dahmer was born on May 21, 1960 in Wisconsin. He was a very happy child who enjoyed typical toddler activities. However, at the age of 6, after undergoing hernia surgery, his personality began to change. He became a loner and he didn't like to talk much. He also had very low self-esteem. At the age of 8, Jeffrey and his family moved to Bath, Ohio, where he was sexually molested by a neighbor. It's said that this incident plays a big role in understanding Dahmer's subsequent crimes. Jeffrey's insecurities only grew and his shyness prevented him from making friends. Jeffrey would bike around his neighborhood looking for dead animals. He would collect them and take them home to dissect them. One time, Jeffrey took things too far and put a dog's head on a stake. When Jeffrey started high school, he continued being a loner. Everybody tried to keep a distance from him. They thought he was kind of strange because of the way he would talk and because he had a very short temper. It was at this time when Jeffrey developed a drinking problem. His parents divorced. At this time, Jeffrey was 18, so the court didn't decide which parent he would live with. His parents were fighting over who would get custody of David. This enraged Jeffrey because once again he felt unwanted. His mother ended up taking his younger brother and leaving him behind with his father. This only made Jeffrey feel more abandoned and rejected. Jeffrey Dahmer committed his first murder in the summer of 1978 at the age of 18. His father was away on business and his mother had moved out. Dahmer was left behind alone. That June, Dahmer picked up a hitchhiker named Stephen Hicks and offered to drink beer with him back at his father's house, sex with him. When Hicks tried to leave, Dahmer struck the back of his head with a dumbbell. Jeffrey said he committed the crime because the guy wanted to leave and he didn't want him to. Dahmer buried the body in the backyard. 9 years passed before he killed again. After high school, Jeffrey attended the Ohio State University. However, after one quarter, he dropped out. He didn't attend most of his classes because he was constantly drunk. His father decided to enlist him in the army. He was a decent soldier, but he was later discharged because of his alcoholism. Jeffrey decided to move to Miami, Florida, where he continued drinking. Later on, he was arrested again, this time for indecent exposure. At the time of his arrest, he had been working at a chocolate factory. J.C. Edwards would have been his 18th victim, but he escaped on July 22, 1991. His escape led to the police arresting Dahmer and uncovering the murders he had committed. He was living alone in a small one-bedroom apartment. Dahmer's home was searched on July 22, 1991, after a young man fled his apartment and flagged down a police car. An investigation revealed that the apartment contained the remains of 11 young men, most of them Black, Hispanic, or Asian. The bodies had been dismembered, and Dahmer confessed that he had cooked and eaten some of the remains. Dahmer told the police that he killed because he was lonely and didn't want his victims to leave him. On February 15, 1992, Dahmer was found guilty on 15 murders counts in Wisconsin. Charges linked him to other murders, but were dropped for lack of evidence. He was sent to prison in Wisconsin with 15 mandatory life sentences to serve. The first year of his sentence, Dahmer was isolated from the general prison population for his own protection. In 1994, he was sent to a maximum security facility in Portage and was allowed some contact with other inmates. He died after a brutal beaten to death on late November 28, 1994, by a fellow inmate who claimed God had instructed him to kill Jeffrey Dahmer.